Hello everybody. So today I am going to try to get some authentication going for this thing. So I had this app for a while. I actually didn't write it here. I'm gonna get rid of all that stuff. I didn't write the original version of this app. That was Matt Zabriskie, really cool person. We used it to teach React to folks. So hold on one second. What? Okay, sweet. So yeah, but now I'm going to be teaching it to show people how to migrate from, or how to refactor their components from React 16.6 to React 16.7 with hooks, assuming that nothing changes with hooks. But yeah, so here's the app. I go can't see odds, and then we're loading. I got to put that in the middle, make a spinner or something, and then we get basically a profile page of my projects that I've recently pushed to. And then, yeah, just all this stuff. It's kind of fun. So, yeah, that's what the app does. And before, when we wrote this originally, I think actually Matt wrote the entire thing originally. Then I just messed a bunch of stuff up, changed everything. But yeah, so when it was written originally, this was using GitHub's version 3 API, which is REST, and it had certain requests that you can make that were just public. And so you didn't need authorization or anything. You had like a request limit, and if you hit it too many times, then you'd be in trouble, and they'd block you for a little while. But yeah, like it could totally work without that. So I was working with that, and then I was updating this to get it ready for my course that I'm working on, and I ran into a problem where I wanted to update to the GraphQL API because I thought that would be cool, and it's amazing, but the problem is that the GraphQL API has to have authentication, which is fine because I can use a GitHub token. I just made a personal access token, stuck it in here. I'm not going to show you that file. If I do, I'll just delete the token anyway. Yeah, so I just use that, and it seems to be working just fine, except when I go to push it to something like Netlify. Let's see, it's React GitHub profile.netlify.com. Here, I'll send it to you. And if you try it, it's not going to work. So if I go Matt Zabriskie, I'm going to get, there was an error loading the data. Oh no. So what's going on here is this env local is only locally, it's not committed to source control. And so when this comes around, it says, oh, there is no React app GitHub token. And so if I make it public, then people have access to my token, which isn't a big deal because it's read-only. So whatever. But if I try to commit it to GitHub, GitHub's just going to revoke it anyway. So I can't use my own personal access token. It's not a good idea anyway. So what do I do? Well, I need to authenticate. So I'm going to make a app here called GitHub, or let's see, React GitHub profile on Firebase, console.firebase.com. Yeah, I don't care about that stuff. And we'll continue. All right, so it's actually been quite a while since I've used Firebase, but everybody on Twitter is telling me that Firebase is still better or the best. I was thinking about OAuth. I tried to use OAuth a couple years ago, and it was really hard. Everybody said that Firebase is still easier. So, yeah, I don't really care about any of that stuff. So we're creating our project, and I'm gonna have to add like probably a fair amount of code to make all this work. Hopefully not here. Let's just Firebase, GitHub, React. They probably have. There's probably a project I could just use a component, but it probably does a bunch of stuff I don't want to do, and yeah, they have it all styled and whatnot. Yeah, styled Firebase. I don't want that. I just want a button I can click on, goes to another window, and then yeah, then magic ensues. I don't need to have a little pop-up thing that says, hey, you can authenticate with this and that and the other. Okay, hold on a second. Somebody is telling me. Oh, interesting. Here, let me pop this up. Because if I can do this, that would be even better. I don't want to use Firebase if I don't have to. So this person's saying I can just fetch a token from the API. So I set up OAuth on GitHub. When the user presses a sign in button, direct them to this link with your client ID. Then GitHub will send you a code with the query string. Grab the code. Okay, they'll send me a code. How do they send me a code? Let's just try this. I don't know. Yeah. The video is titled using Firebase, but we'll leave that and come back to it if I can't make this work. I'll retitle the video. And we'll try Firebase tomorrow if this doesn't work. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and we'll go to GitHub. By the way, if you see anything secret, please let me know. I will revoke any tokens that you see and whatnot, and it's going to be a bit of a pain, but I'm doing this because I love you, so please don't don't do anything mean. New OAuth app. Here we go. Application name, React GitHub profile. Homepage URL, React GitHub profile.netlify.com. And application description. Show your GitHub profile because github.com is not enough, question mark. This is an educational demo app. Okay, the callback. All right, so this is where the magic happens. I think this is how GitHub is going to send me that token is from the callback. So basically, it's going to be I can use something like this. Here, actually, what is Firebase callback URL? I'm pretty sure. Oh, boo, callback URL. Pretty sure that they do something callback. What? Come on, Google. Callback. There we go. Okay, so they have it go back to their own URL. So I think what we could do is I'll just do GitHub callback, or we could do a route for this. GitHub, yeah, auth, sure. Okay. OAuth documentation, it makes me shudder. OAuth is not easy. Callback. Okay, yeah. So then, yeah. Okay. I think we should be solid. So let's try this really quick. Here, I'm gonna take a screenshot of myself really quick. And I'm gonna use that for this. Ta-da! Yes. Oh, that's great. Okay, update application. Yeah, I definitely wanna update that. Okay, so now I need to get, oh, there it is, right here. So I'm going to delete this, by the way, after, and I'm going to do this all over again, which is why I'm fine having this funny logo. Maybe I'll add that again anyway. Because this client secret, I guess I can just reset it. Yeah, reset client secret. It's going to change. I'll change it again when we're all done watching the video. So don't look at my secrets. Hold on. The credentials are your, hold it. So do I need the client secret? So do I need a backend for that? I don't want to deal with a backend. I think this is going to be, I need to have a backend for this client secret, which is why services like Firebase exist. going back to the Firebase console. Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure that I can't just do all this in the browser without any sort of backend. So we'll go here. And let's do authentication. Sorry, I can't, like, this is live stream, so I can't take the YouTube video and slice out that section where I was exploring something that wasn't going to work, but maybe some of you will find that useful. Pretty sure that's not possible. I'm going to look right here. What about ZiteNow or Probot? I don't want to deal with servers. I heard that the poor querying power of Firebase compares to something like MongoDB. What do you know about this? Could you be using both and just use Firebase for OAuth? Yeah, you could do that, I guess. Hi there, Josh. You mean using callback URL on the client? Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, so I can use the, well, golly gee. I do need to have the client secret somewhere though, right? Like, people can't just use my thing. Okay, let's just try this really quick. Client ID, we'll go back here. Client ID is this. Huh. Okay. And then what happens? I authorize, and it sends me to, hey, this thing. Okay. I'm gonna keep trying this. If your client app, which serves HTML and a client-side router, you can have the router catch the callback URL, read the query params from the React component. So is this like a legit token? Let's try this. Let's do this for reals now. I'm gonna change this to be localhost stuff so that hopefully it works. Localhost. Actually, maybe all I need is this one. Localhost port 3000. Is that my port? Yeah. Update. Okay, sweet. So then if I go back here and I authorize, it should go to localhost. Sweet. Yeah, so now if I go back here, I thought I was running the app. That should have caught, right? Localhost. Oh, it's HTTPS. Ah, hopefully this works. I don't want to have to deal with setting up HTTPS locally. Okay, going back. We'll authorize. Come on. Yeah, sweet. So then I can grab the code. All right, let's do this. Hey, this might work. Yeah. Hey, thank you, King Daro. All right, so if we go here, we've got our routes. I'm going to add another route. Here we'll just do function GitHub auth. Whoops. Auth. And that's going to take our code. And then we'll return the code, sure. So then we'll say GitHub auth. By the way, I love reach router. I think this is just the best. So the path is going to be GitHub auth and code equals code. I think that should work. Let's try that. It appears that reach router might be trying to render this. So here, I'm just going to get rid of that for now. Put that here for safekeeping. Okay. Theme provider, router, location provider, router impl, and it looks like I'm not matching something. So maybe I've got my URL wrong or something. Probably this thing. It doesn't like that, I'm thinking. So it won't be able to do the query string, which is unfortunate. Okay, let me check. People are commenting. Maybe you can help me. I don't answer questions about my VS Code theme. No, just kidding. my font theme. I get millions of questions. People, you have to know that people who share code from their screen or share anything from their screen get millions of questions about their theme, font, like totally things that aren't relevant to what they're trying to share. And it gets old after a while. So don't ask people. No, you can ask. It's fine. But we get this all the time, which is why I have a short URL for it. Not sure if you can alias query value in the path. Yeah, Adam, I think you are correct. So what I'm going to have to do is we'll debugger right. Well, I don't need a debugger. We got it right here. Location dot path name. No, dot query. What is it? Search. That's right. Search, and we're going to look for I could do bring in a query string URL parser thing, but I'm just going to be like, I'm pretty sure it's only going to have this query string. So we'll split, let's see, code, and it'll be 2. Or we could do slice, we'll do the negative length of, let's see, yeah. So it'll be code equals dot length. Whoops, I missed something. There we go. Ta-da, that'll do it. All right. So we'll go const code equals window dot location search, and then we'll do that. We're not going to get that from our params. Refresh. Da-da-da-da. Sweet. So then we can use that URL search params. What? Hold on. What is this? What do I do with this? MDN URL search params. Okay. Wait a second. You did not just. Okay. Local or location search rx dot code. No, must be doing something wrong. Oh, dot get x dot get code. What is this? This has got to be supported by only latest browsers or something, right? Yeah, no Internet Explorer support. I don't care about Explorer. Not on stuff like this. Especially if I were teaching, okay, this is how you do it, then yeah, I'd probably care about IE. But nope, this is fantastic. I love this. Okay, so we're gonna go new URL. What was it? URL search params. There we go. We'll snatch that, get rid of this, put that in there. And it's not new, but it's that. And then we'll do get code. Save that, and we're refreshing. Boom. Yes. This is great. Pro tip here we go. I'll just pro tip, add a custom search engine to Chrome with trigger MDN. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've thought about doing that. Check out the chat if you're curious what Josh was talking about. Maybe I should do that. Delete Internet Explorer. Yeah, that'd be nice. But I work at a real company that serves real users, and I can't do that. Okay, cool. So now that we have the GitHub authentication token, we can store that token, and then let's see. So what we're gonna have is a login button. We'll say authenticate on the home screen. I wonder if we could just do this on the home instead of in here. So if we go to screens, home, index, and we can check out, hey, do we have the auth token set? If we don't, check it in the URL, and if it's not in there, then instead of rendering home, we'll render, instead of rendering that little text input, we'll render a authenticate with GitHub. And then we'll store it in local storage. Yeah, this is going to be good. Okay. let's see, what are we going to do? So I'm going to go in here. Sorry, I got to think about how I want to do this. So I don't want to create the client until I have the token, and then I will use that client in this provider. So I don't want to render the GitHub client context provider until I actually have a GitHub client. Yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put this GitHub client is now a React component that is the provider. Okay, so we're going to combine these two. And we're going to make a function call, or well, it'll be a function with hooks, but it's going to be a React component class that is a GitHub client provider. And this is going to what is it going to do? I guess it could just like I don't need it to be all that fancy. So this thing itself could render a button if we don't have a client, and then otherwise it'll render its children. Yeah, sure. Okay, so we're going to say client. We can put that in state. Client null. We say if, or we'll return this dot state dot client. If there is a client, then we're going to render GitHub client context. Here, let's move things around. I'm getting myself all confused. Dot provider, where the value is this dot state dot client, and then this dot props dot children. Otherwise, we'll render a div here. We'll say you have no client, and we'll make that a button. Okay, then we're going to export that thing. Let's see. I'm going to make a constructor, because we're going to we'll say, okay, go over here. Then it'll come back. It's going to refresh the page. So when this is constructed, I should know whether or not I have that in my URL. So that's fine. So we'll just this dot state. We'll say args, super args, and then we'll say, where did I put this thing? We want this. Cons code, and if there's a code, I feel like some of you are probably giving me dirty looks right now because I'm doing this in the constructor. I don't know what to say about that. I'm not sorry. Okay, fine. I'll do a component did mount. And we'll move this in here, and then we'll do get rid of this, move that there, and get rid of that useless constructor. Okay, are you happy? Okay, so then, and we'll have to do some other things as we go, but this should be fine for now. Okay, let me just check out some people. Yeah, actually, Daniel mentioned Dash. I have Dash, and it's great. Dash, search Dash for URL search params. There it is. Booyah. It's not like such a huge part of my workflow. I use it sometimes, but I need to remember. Yeah, King Daro says, this is synchronous code. It's not a big deal. Yeah, it's, I also shrug at this, except that technically it's, yeah, it's reaching it's reaching into the global environment, which just feels dirty to me in the constructor. I don't know. With hooks, I'm going to worry less about this stuff, I think. I don't know. It's silly. Okay. So if there is a code, then we can create a client. So we're going to say, we'll put all this stuff, function get client code, and we'll put this stuff in here. and authorization is the bearer this thing. Now, locally, I don't want to have to do this as part of my development workflow. I just want to use my token that I have right here. So what I think I'm going to do is, let's do code. So we could say this thing. If there's a token, here, actually, yeah, we can do this. So the code is equal to that or the token. And if there's a code, then we'll do this set state client get client for that code. And then we'll just get rid of all this garbage. And we'll just return that. Okay, sweet. And then we'll, let's see, for default, now we'll just export provider, or yeah, we want this as provider. And GitHub Client content, context as consumer, man, we gotta do this const consumer, and then for that consumer, there we go. Syntax, fun stuff. Okay, so if there is a code, then we'll set the state. Otherwise, we will not, and you'll render you have no client. Okay, cool. So what we should get then, if I go to index, is I'm going to get rid of this client context thing. We don't need that anymore. And then from here, I want to get the provider and consumer. So we're going to import provider, or actually we'll just import star as GitHub context, from GitHub client. We'll get rid of that stuff. And we'll say GitHub context.provider for those. And sweet, that should work. We're going to put the theme provider outside of that, so I can still use emotion theming inside of my GitHub context provider. It's fine. Cool, and then we'll get rid of the GitHub auth thing, and we'll do the user thing, user path equals username. And we'll do GitHub, well, yeah, we're gonna redirect directly here. So I gotta update the auth settings. Just be that. Update application. Okay, sweet. Okay, GitHub client context. Oh, this isn't my test. Star as GitHub client. There we go. And this one, I just need the GitHub client. Here we'll pull in the full context as GitHub. Oh, actually, no. Yeah. We'll need to export the entire context. We'll go here. Context. Let's see. GitHub client context as context. There we go. Okay. Does not have word as Git. Okay, I missed something. Oh, yeah. Star as. Thank you, Easlint. All right. Cool. So now if I say code equals blah, then what happened was, actually, I have my my doodad here, this thing. So it's not going to be getting that. What I'm going to do is I'll switch these actually so I can make sure that the code thing works. Okay. So then if I go to React, or no, so we're going to go to network actually. So I loaded it with the code of blah, and I say, can't see dots, go. It's going to fail because my authentication request header, error blah, ta-da. So that code thing is working. Sweet. Okay, so let's try this now. Let's try this for reals. So if I go here, oh, whoops. Yeah, rats. Where was it? Ah, man. Okay, I need to get my ID again. I'm telling you, don't cheat with my secret, please. I'm gonna change it when we're done. Oh, sweet. So yeah, just redirected, and then if I go network, go, GraphQL is mad because there is that, which was the code, right? Okay, something is wrong. Does anybody know what it is? Huh. Okay. So that says that's what. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. I don't have enough authorization. I think I need my scope to be different. So let's go. Oh goodness. Authorize scope needs to be user, but okay. GitHub login URL scope, because I think I need auth code is something you usually exchange for a token, but it doesn't work as a token itself. That's yeah, that's true. That makes sense. And that's probably where I need my secret. Yeah. So yeah, Alex Lee, I'm aware that I'm showing my secret to the world right now. I'm gonna change it. Don't worry, it's fine. Do I need to use the secret to exchange the auth code for a token? Because if I do, then this has been a waste of time, and I need to use Firebase because I can't have my secret sent to the browser. Okay, let's see what this let's see what this Alex Banks fellow says. Nothing. Okay. Well. Yeah, that makes sense. The error message that I'm getting would make sense why this client ID or why the code that I get wouldn't work. Yeah, that's where the backend comes in. Yeah, we need a backend. Okay, fine. Rats. Okay, going back to OAuth with our good friend Firebase. Okay, let me just Firebase console. Here we go. Boo. Just really don't want to bring in a giant library that does a million things I don't need it to do. Okay, set up sign-in method. GitHub. That's the one. Okay, I'm gonna change these after, so don't be mean. Enable GitHub client ID. This one. Client secret is that. And I gotta copy that. Go here. Callback URL. Update. And then I'll save this. And add domain. Let's see. Where is it? It's React, GitHub, Netlify. Add that. And I guess the Firebase one too, but I'm not going to publish to Firebase. I hear it's good, but I like Netlify pretty well. Okay, so what do I do now? Firebase authentication. I want it as simple as possible. Give me I don't want a library. I just want, how do I do this fundamentally? I want the SDK. don't want the Firebase SDK. Might have to use the Firebase SDK. I feel like it's like really complicated without it. Okay, boo. Add Firebase to your project. I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay. So, hey, that's my friend. He's a cool person, David East. We haven't seen each other in a long time, but I like that person. Okay, so we create a project. Ouch. So we need to get Firebase npm. Thank you. What? I don't want Firebase tools. I want Firebase the library. Firebase npm auth. Sweet, that looks promising. Package is not intended for direct usage. Oh, okay, fine. So, okay, we gotta install Firebase. I'm gonna stop this. npm install as a dependency, Firebase. This could have been so simple. Okay. Then we want to initialize the app, I guess. Auth. Okay, so we need Firebase app, and then we need Firebase auth. We don't need Firebase database. That's good. Okay. So we'll do import Firebase from Firebase, and we'll import Firebase auth. Okay. Actually, I'm going to make a Firebase.js module here that we'll use instead. Okay. And then we'll do this initialize app doodad magic. And come back here. Big. Okay, I think I need to come in here and usage. Oh, that's, yeah, templates, right? Email stuff. Oh, did I just show another secret? Oh, no. Okay. Web setup. Sweet, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. But who uses var these days anymore? Goodness. Oh, thank you. So Adam just said, I want to import Firebase app. Otherwise, I'll get the whole thing. Is what I do not want to do. Okay, so we're going to do const config equals all that stuff, which I believe is safe to send to the user. I don't think they would share it with me if it weren't. My goodness, I don't need storage bucket and all that, but we'll delete that. We'll get things working, and then I can remove stuff and see if it works. Okay, cool. So with that, then yeah, let's go to authenticating with GitHub. So I need to make a provider. Here, let's do export default Firebase. We'll go in here, import base from Firebase. Although I think I want to, here, let's do login with GitHub or auth. Oops. We're going to put all of our Firebase stuff in here. I'm going to copy that. We'll do function. And we'll get rid of this thing and we'll just export, whoops, that. Okay. So, yeah, so we make the provider, we add a scope. And user and, okay, GitHub OAuth scopes. I know which scopes I use when I do a personal access token, but I'm not sure how those map to the OAuth thing. We got repo, public repo. So is it repo : public repo? I guess it's just public repo. But see, this is, oh, write org, read org. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So we want public repo, we want read org, and we want read user. Yep, those are the scopes we need. Okay, cool. So then set custom parameters. I don't really care about that. Hopefully I don't care. To sign in with a pop-up window, do this. To sign up by using redirect, then use that. I'm going to do the redirect because I want a full page reload because I don't want to deal with, oh, it's ready now. I don't know. Here, let's see what happens if I do pop up. So yeah, then I get the user, and then I can, yeah, and then I can re-render. Okay, we'll do the pop-up. It's better user experience anyway. So then we're going to do this. Firebase auth, sign in with pop-up. Then this is not the 90s. We're going to async await this thing. Await. We'll get our const result equals that stuff. And then I'm actually going to put this catch. Well, we'll do a trycatch. See, this is actually one of the reasons I didn't want async await was because the trycatch. Actually, you know what? I'll let the user of this thing handle errors. They can do a catch or a catch thing if they want to. Okay, sweet. So we wait for that. This gives you the auth token. You can use access to GitHub API and the sign in user info. I don't really care about that right now, but yeah, we can get that later. Okay, my computer is going very slow right now, so I'm going to save this file, and then I'm going to reload the window because I think maybe that will speed up. VS Code maybe have got into something. I don't know. Could also be that I'm live streaming. That's just what happens. Okay. Sweet, so we get our token. Yeah, that's a little bit faster, and we can return that token actually. Return the access token. Okay. Return. There we go. Okay, sweet. Okay, there we go. So then we got that auth with GitHub. So then in our GitHub client, we can say auth with GitHub. You don't have a client. Button. Sign in here. Button. On click. It's going to be this dot Actually, we'll just do auth with GitHub. Seems legit. Except we want error handling and whatnot, which we can do. Well, we need to respond. Okay, yeah, sorry, gotta go back. We're gonna handle login click. Okay, and then we're gonna auth with GitHub. Make this async and await const token, and then we can do set state token. There we go. Yep. Token. There we go. And we'll do this handle login click. And then we can do error handling in here. Like we could say catch error console.log. Oh no, error set state error. I'll say error question mark, then this stuff, a div. Oh no, error. We'll say pre JSON stringify for null 2, and yeah, that should do it. Oh, this dot state. Here, we'll destructure that up here. Const client error this dot state, and we're solid. We'll do const children dot props, because I like to do this at the top of my render method, so I know exactly what do I need from state and what do I need from props. Makes it very clear right at the top. Okay, cool. So now we can go ahead and npm run start and our NRS. I have that aliased. Okay. Come on, big money, big money, big money. And it just occurred to me that I should probably redirect people if they go straight to user. They should be redirected if there is no GitHub context. So I can actually do that by using the consumer. If there is no, I'll make a custom consumer that if there is no client, well, hold it, no, that'll work because the router doesn't even get rendered if there is, yeah, so it's fine even if they're on here. Okay, what is going on? There's an error loading data. Oh, sweet. I'm already logged in. Ah, rats. How do I, oh, here we go. We're gonna go to application, clear site data. Sweet. Refresh. Well, Firebase local storage database. Ooh. That's interesting. Cookies. Logged in? Yes. Here are cookies out and So here, let's go to our network tab. Go mzabriskie. GraphQL request is made, and it works. And there's my token, apparently. Okay. So let me, how do I log out? I should probably add logout functionality with Firebase. Okay, and then we can test the login properly. Logout. Okay, Firebase logout. It's been a little while since I used Firebase, clearly. Logout. Okay, I feel like this is harder than it should be. Getting started. Logout. We can sign them in. You can come in anytime you like, but you can never leave. Manage users. Log out. Sign out. Sign out. 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 YouTube has the word out in it, apparently. Sign out. Okay. Firebase auth. Sign out. Well, maybe this will give us a hint. Auth sign out. Okay, whatever. We'll just do that. So I'll add a little, for now, we'll just add a little button right here from the thing. I'm going to refactor all this later. We're going to add a button, sign out, on click, sign out, GitHub sign out, I guess. Whoops. Then we'll go to Firebase and we'll make that function. And here, let's see, what did they say? Was that a synchronous? Yeah, asynchronous. Async. And it's just Firebase auth sign out. We don't need to make it async, actually. We'll just return that. And then we'll do that. Okay, cool. Now we can go in here. There's a little sign out button. Click that. And then I refresh. Oh. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I still have all this stuff. So on component and mount, it uses my personal auth token. What? That's what's going on. So let's comment this stuff out. We'll get rid of all that stuff later. Yay! There we go. Ah. Okay. Sign in here. So yeah, sure. I'll sign in. Boop. Pops open a new window. It does this weird URL doodad. There's my fun picture. Then I authorize. And ooh, fancy. And then it loads in. Sweet. And then I click sign out. And I refresh. And I'm signed out. So, okay. Sweet. I think that's as much as I'm going to do right now. I got to get to my regular work stuff. But yeah, this is interesting. So in review, as I often say in my videos, what we're doing is we have this GitHub client provider that is responsible for rendering our context so we can provide the client to any of our components that are using the query, which gets that client from its context. It's pretty cool, actually. I reassigned this .context to client because that's the value that's being assigned, just so I know that's what it's called. So yeah, we have that. But if there is no client, it is because we have just rendered for the first time. So we need to get the client in the first place. I'm going to need to update this component in mount so that it will get the client or attempt to log in first, in case the user just refreshed the page and they're actually still logged in their session or whatever. But actually, let's just go ahead and do that. And actually, we'll do here, let's do set or get client, or yeah, let's just do get client here, async. We're just going to move all this stuff and we'll actually move all this stuff as well, because you know we don't need that. Const client equals that, and then we can just do client is the client. Okay, sweet. Then we can get rid of this client thing here. Okay, so we have this get client. So we'll handle login click with this .get client. Oh, actually, no. What that's going to do is it's going to pop open for the user when they first open it up, but I want them to be able to click on the page. So Okay, so I am going to need to do something different on did mount. So we'll just add a to do there. Okay. So, yeah, when they land on the page, we'll have to, I'm sure Firebase, here, let's just look at it. Firebase, check if the user's logged in already. Okay, Firebase, check if user is logged in already. Okay, if there's a current user, I suppose. Here in that case, then we can just do probably here, let's add a debugger here. We'll go over here. Okay, so we got our Firebase, blah, 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 blah. Current user, or is that the same thing I'm thinking of? Okay. I might not be looking at the same thing. Oh, I need to call it and then I get the current user. Okay. Auth. Minified names, Batman. Okay. Current user is null. But we do have this thing, whatever that is. Okay, current user is null because I did not log in. So I can sign in. Well, does this happy dance, the fancy material loading indicator, which I have no control over, which is kind of weird to me. And then now I can refresh and I hit the debugger and I hopefully will be logged in now. Current user, no. Interesting. So I don't have any way, I guess here, let's do the, I'm pretty sure like we're really close. So I'm gonna keep going. We've got this thing. I think that's what we're gonna, oh wait, no, not this. We want to observe the auth state change. So we'll want to do that on here. Yeah, sorry, not in there, not in there, not in there. We'll do it in here, probably on component did mount. Oh, so subscribe to auth state change. Do function subscribe to auth state change, and then we'll move this thing back over there. Just want to keep Firebase in one place. Subscriber. I'm making my own pub sub thing. I should probably just use Mint or something. Subs. We'll just move this here. Dude. Subs. The push subscriber. Return. This is going to return an unsubscribe. Subs was subs filter subscriber. Pretty sure there's like a slice something or other I could do there, but this works. Oops. And this will be a let. Okay, great. So then subs for each sub user, subs for each sub null. Okay. We're going to have an anonymous function. We're going to make it an arrow function for crying out loud. Okay. Then we'll export that and we can subscribe to auth state change. And when it changes, const un, here we'll do this dot unsubscribe. This is actually going to be perfect for my course. So we'll unmount. We're going to unsubscribe. Okay. So we subscribe to auth state change. And when that happens, we're going to get the user. And if there is a user, otherwise there's not a user, then we'll say, well, here I gotta figure out what the user object has. It needs to have my GitHub token. So let's do a debugger. Oops. So here we go. We'll refresh, play through that debugger. We'll sign in. I'm gonna get rid of that debugger because I don't need it. Okay, it's loading and it didn't hit my debugger. It is pointing, to say the least. I'm gonna save this. Okay, there we go. Sweet. So we've got our user. Sweet. I didn't have to go through the login process, and I have it. And then we've got, there's a refresh token. Got a UUID. But they've got a bunch of weird properties on here. I feel like if it's gonna be a weird property, it's probably because they need it. And if they need it, then they should put it somewhere else. Maybe namespace it? I don't know. This is so weird. Okay. What we're gonna do is we'll say window my user equals user. And then we're gonna play through and I had to sign in anyway because I don't know how to set up the client. Okay, so then we look at our network, the GraphQL, that thing, but I think our token is new, probably. I don't know. So the user doesn't have the access token, apparently. Oh, provider data. Here we go. Provider ID. No auth token there. Huh. Well, golly gee, I don't know how to get the auth token from the user object. Or how to get it at all. We just get it when we do the sign in pop-up. Credential, huh? Okay. Firebase get auth token from user object. By the way, if you're watching live and you're like, oh, I'm going to wreak havoc on Kent's stuff because I can see he has auth tokens there. Remember that my scope is only is read-only stuff that you can all see publicly anyway. So feel free to use that stuff if you want to, I guess. Yeah, this is, I don't want to read this stuff. So we're going to go put a debugger right here. We got Firebase auth. Oh, goodness. Our Firebase equals, and we're just going to say, what? Okay, Firebase app. That thing? What? Well, what do I have access to then? Closure? that thing, right? Because I'm inside it. This is ridiculous. Refresh. You know what I'm going to do? Let's just do this. I'm going to say window.firebase equals Firebase. Thank you. Okay, so then if I go Firebase, it exists, hooray, auth. Is that my token? Okay, we'll just play through. And in here, I can say Firebase auth. It still should be the same thing, yeah. Okay, and then I'll sign in. I think when we did something similar with the Facebook auth, I had to get the token from the credential object that comes back in the sign-in callback. That's how I get it too. But what if I'm already authenticated? Like I've refreshed the page, I'm already authenticated. I don't want to do the sign-in process again. That's why I'm doing all of this. So now that I've made a network request, I can go here and I can look at this thing. And I don't think I see it in here. Or here, actually, I need to do Firebase auth again now. Okay, so it's not that. It is versus auth. Bunch of garbage. Okay, so that's when I do Firebase auth, this is what I get, is the auth service itself. Here's my options and stuff. Okay. Current user. And that current user does not appear to have anything that I need. Holy, don't know what any of this stuff is. Man, this is so wacko. Look at all this one character stuff. Like, I guess it's minified, but that is just the weirdest stuff. Okay. Firebase get auth token on refresh. Oh, great. Now we're going to talk about refresh tokens. No, that's not what I want. Without sign in. Okay, now we're doing all this node stuff. Okay. Provider data. Refresh token. Okay. Okay, I'm totally like, I thought this was gonna be easy, and turns out it's not easy because like where is this auth token being stored? Where is it gonna be stored? I can get it right here, but I can't get it from the user objects on refresh. I have to go through this sign in with pop-up. I'm positive that's not a requirement, but I can't figure out how to get that auth token. Okay, so somebody just We're all helping together here. Let me pop this in here. Get ID token. Okay. Let's try that. Okay, so we're gonna go Firebase auth current user get ID token. That is a big token. I don't think that's what I need. Yeah, I don't think that token is the token I want. I need the GitHub stuff. Provider services. Let's look at the prototype. Maybe that's where all the methods are. Yep. Here we'll do .toJSON. Maybe that'll have it. .toJSON. User. Provider data. See, this, I need the access token in the provider data. I have this giant access token, but I'm pretty sure that's like my Firebase access token or something, or my Firebase data, which I don't need any Firebase data. Okay, get. Here, let me just pick out a message I got randomly really quick. Okay, get Firebase, or get GitHub access token with Firebase. I think this might be. Oh, you know what? I probably have to store it myself, I guess. Do I have to store it myself? That would be silly, but I guess it makes sense. Okay, fine. Then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna say local, or we'll say window.local storage, or actually I'm gonna put have my GitHub client provider be responsible for that. So component to mount, or let's see, let's do it in. Yeah, so when we get the token, we're gonna say window local storage dot set item token say GitHub token, and then in here, if there is no user, we'll remove item token, and yeah, we only care about the no user case. Okay, cool. And then in component to mount, we'll say if window.local storage, storage dot get item GitHub token here to token equal, oops. Okay, I'm getting some comments. Let me take a look at what you all have to say about this. So okay. Yeah, so oh, there you go. Thanks, Adam. Since Firebase authentication no longer persists the access token, your application will have to do it itself if needed. Ah. Is there a particular reason I use window.local storage instead of local storage? Yeah, I kind of like to do it because I feel like it's more explicit. Also, it makes testing easier because then I can spy on window. I can like override window.local storage in testing if I wanted to. So I just built a habit out of that. What if the access token expires when you're still logged in? You'll have to relog into your app. Yes. Yep. You'll have to do that. And I'm not sure. I don't know whether like what the expiration is. There probably is something in here. And then we could add some logic that says, oh, it expired, so we got to get rid of it. Okay. Well, I'm glad to get some official word on how you're supposed to do this. I recall in days past, I didn't have to do this with Firebase, and that is kind of frustrating, but you know, what do you do? Okay, so then we can do this thing we're doing here, and we'll, yeah, sweet. So on mount, we'll check, do we have a token? If we do, then we'll set state with that token to get the client. And we'll also subscribe to auth state change so we can remove the token if we so desire. I think that'll work. Okay. So we'll play through. We have to sign in, even though we technically are signed in already, but that is what it is. And now here we are. I refresh. We're going to get another breakpoint, I think. But we won't have to sign in again. There was an error loading data. Okay. Huh. Bad credentials. Boo. Your bad credentials. Okay. Sign out then, I guess. We do have a client still because, okay, so when we sign out, when this changes, we also need to this set state client null. And we'll just say the error is null too, because give ourselves in a nice clean state here. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that debugger because that's getting really annoying. Okay, play through. So sign in. And that works. And then if I, okay, here, actually, let me check first. GraphQL. Here's my auth token that I just barely got. It starts with ed43, and then I'll check my application, local storage, ed43, that's the GitHub token. Okay, so far so good. Then I'm going to refresh. It still has that in there. Oh, it worked. Oh, good. ed43, sweet. Okay, cool. So then I sign out, and I have no client. I refresh. Sign in, and it loads my stuff, and I refresh. Sweet, and then I go home, and I go, I'm still signed in, see? And I go, and it works. Okay. Okay, now I need to fix some UI stuff, but let's take a look at what we did, this monstrosity that we're going to refactor. So we have all of our Firebase interaction stuff going on in here, and I'm going to get rid of that window Firebase now. I don't need that anymore. And so we have our configuration right here we got from Firebase. I wonder how much of this I can get rid of, because I don't need that probably. Messaging sender ID. Yeah, probably don't need that. Probably don't need that. We'll get rid of both of those, see if this still works. Sign out, sign in. Seems to be working just fine. Yep, okay, so I wonder if I can get rid of the messaging sender ID too. We'll sign out, sign in. I'm pretty sure we need the project ID, the auth domain, and the API key. Just gonna say that. We'll keep those. Okay, good. What on earth is all of this? Guess that's all the Firebase stuff. If I refresh, do I make all those requests? Yes, apparently I do. I guess that makes sense. We need to get the user's information. Okay, that's fun. Okay, so yeah, we config and initialize our app. And then we have this auth with GitHub that uses the provider, specifies the scopes that we care about, and we await sign in with pop-up, pops up the thing, and then it goes away, and we get the result. And we use that when, if and only if, the user clicks on this button that says, hey, sign in here, because we have no client. Now, when that happens, we hit a click, we get the token via that way I just showed. Then we set that token in local storage. That's the key piece that I was missing. I didn't realize that Firebase no longer does that for you. Thank you to Adam for finding that bit of useful information out. Then we set state and get the client. The client is just a GraphQL request client, very small library as far as GraphQL libraries go, to get a client that has that authentication for GitHub that we so desperately need. So we set that state, we re-render, and now since we have a client, it's going to render our provider with that client, so all the consumers have access to it. And then we also render a sign out, which I'll render differently. And then we render the children, so that renders the router and all the other stuff we need. So I do, Adam just mentioned I should probably clear local storage on sign out. I do that right here in the subscribe to auth state change. So when the user clicks on sign out, then the user's auth state will change and we'll get rid of the token. I suppose I could I could do it right here, have my own little thing. That's probably a good idea. Let's do that. Handle sign out click, and we'll just do this stuff in here, and then we'll also call GitHub sign out, and we'll just make that a fire and forget thing. We don't really care if that actually works. Well, we hope it works, but there's nothing we're gonna do if it doesn't. So we'll clear out local storage, sign out, and now we actually don't need to do this subscription unsubscription stuff, which actually is too bad because that would have been really nice for the hooks course. We'll figure out another place we can do something like that. And then we can get rid of that logic in here, which is actually kind of nice. Maybe I'll add that back, just be contrived so that I can show that in the course. We'll see. Yeah, so on mount, if the token exists, then oh, we're actually logged in, so we can use that token. Oh, here, actually, let's do one other thing really quick. I'm going to console log the result. We can see what happens when we log in authorize. Okay, so then we get the credential, provider, sign in method. Just stuff. My profile. We don't get anything about when that access token will no longer work. So I'm not going to worry about it. It would be nice if we got that information. Or maybe it just always will work. It never invalidates or something. I don't know. It's interesting. Okay, so if there's a token, then we can have the client. Otherwise, there will be no client, and we will therefore render you have no client. Yep. Sweet. I think that's it. So at the end of all this, getting Firebase auth working in a couple lines, not too terrible, but it was a little bit confusing at first. So this is another one of my dev tips with Kent that are actually quite long for some of these. This one's almost an hour and a half. So eventually I'll get back to those. Like, I know what I'm going to talk about. It's going to be focused, and we're just going to get through this. But I figured that while I'm doing some of this stuff, preparing for another course, and I can do this. But I really need to get to my day job now. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. I am going to go delete my application, start everything all over from scratch, so you can not steal my life from me and my identity. But yeah, this was fun, and I will see you all later. Bye.